For years, whispers and rumors have circulated about tension brewing behind the scenes between Rihanna and Jay-Z. But now, those murmurs have exploded into open speculation about lawsuits, countersuits, and secrets that refuse to stay hidden. Could it really be that Rihanna and A$AP Rocky are ready to confront the power couple Jay-Z and Beyoncé in court? Or is the entire saga just another wild rumor feeding the internet's insatiable appetite for scandal? The more we dig, the more shocking each discovery becomes. Controversial claims point to a toxic dynamic in Rihanna's early career and question whether her rapid rise to stardom came at a cost she never intended to pay. Today, we're peeling back the layers to unravel how a teenage immigrant from Barbados allegedly faced pressure and manipulation at the hands of one of music's biggest moguls, and why it's taken almost 2 decades for these claims to resurface in a blaze of legal threats and sensational headlines. When Rihanna first burst onto the scene, she was an ambitious 17-year-old with a striking voice and a dream. Rumor has it, her path to stardom was paved by none other than Jay-Z, then president of Def Jam, who recognized her potential almost instantly. But according to the whispers, that professional relationship wasn't exactly pure mentorship. Instead, some claim it was built on subtle coercion and unspoken IOUs. A word on the street was that Jay-Z noticed how urgently Rihanna wanted to escape her struggles. As a young immigrant eager to climb the ranks, she was allegedly cornered into a dynamic where owing favors became part of the game. Even fans who initially shrugged off such talk began revisiting the rumors when certain insiders dropped cryptic hints about the pressure Rihanna faced. Why did she seem so guarded? Why did she dodge certain questions in interviews, especially about her earliest days in the business? And what was that hush-hush office meeting at Def Jam that stretched way past midnight, leaving a teenage Rihanna exhausted and uneasy? From the outside, Rihanna's rise looked like the classic Cinderella story. But behind the curtains, skeptics wondered. Was the fairy godfather truly empowering her or taking advantage of her youth and desperation? If these unsettling claims sound familiar, it's because they first erupted through Rihanna's former publicist. At one point, he fed tabloids bombshell statements suggesting Jay-Z had manipulated Rihanna in ways that breached all professional lines. Tabloids devoured the story, splashing salacious headlines everywhere. But in a whiplash turn of events, he later confessed it was all a fabricated stunt devised to drum up publicity for Rihanna's debut single. He admitted he was throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick, hoping to jolt the public's attention. In one breath, all those wild rumors were declared false, presumably burying the scandal for good. But despite the admission, the doubts refused to die. Why did people hold on to the story? Perhaps because Rihanna's body language in interviews still suggested hidden hurt. Or maybe because, as fans often say, where there's smoke, there's fire. Didn't help that Rihanna kept dropping subtle hints that her early days at Def Jam were far from smooth. During interviews, she'd speak about feeling trapped in an office until the early hours, waiting for Jay-Z to sign off on her contract. Some found this normal in the competitive music world. Others took it as a blinking red flag that something was off. When you combine that with the publicist fiasco, a narrative started to form, one that refused to disappear no matter how many times official statements branded it a hoax. Another thread weaving through this tangled web involves Foxy Brown, the hip-hop star who rose to fame at an incredibly young age. Over the years, Foxy has hinted at and been tied to controversies involving Jay-Z. Multiple sources claim that their relationship crossed professional boundaries, especially given Foxy's age and vulnerability at the time. Some accounts even allege that their involvement resulted in serious health-related complications and an unplanned pregnancy. These insinuations came roaring back into the spotlight when Jaguar Wright, an outspoken singer known for spilling behind-the-scenes industry secrets, started talking. She insisted that Jay-Z's pattern of behavior with Foxy Brown wasn't an isolated incident. In Wright's telling, the same manipulations and hush-hush deals extended to Rihanna, who allegedly found herself locked into an arrangement she didn't fully understand until it was too late. Wright's statements, while unconfirmed, struck a nerve with an already suspicious fanbase. Suddenly, the idea of an all-powerful music mogul using his influence over younger female artists seemed less like a tabloid fantasy and more like a shadowy possibility. Didn't help that these stories often mentioned the potential spread of viral health conditions, claims that were never proven but which fueled the rumor mill to an even more feverish pitch. Enter Chris Brown, Rihanna's ex-boyfriend and the subject of one of entertainment's most infamous incidents back in 2009. Amid the heartbreak and controversy, new theories emerged suggesting that the tension between Rihanna and Jay-Z contributed in part to her chaotic personal life. In some versions of the story, Kris allegedly discovered shocking information about Rihanna's past, rumors that pointed to manipulative behavior, possible health consequences, and a toxic dynamic that shaped her relationship with the music industry at large. Jaguar Wright took these claims further, asserting that Kris once witnessed something so unsettling at a private gathering, he became convinced Rihanna was caught in a destructive cycle. The details remain vague. Some say it involved harmful substances, others say it was purely emotional distress. Either way, the rumors paint Chris Brown's infamous blow-up not just as random violence, but as an eruption triggered by deeper layers of betrayal and fear. Of course, the only people who know the real story of that night are Kris and Rihanna themselves, and perhaps a handful of bystanders. But the possibility that Jay-Z's shadow loomed over their relationship, influencing its worst moments, offers a new dimension to what the public believed they already knew. Rihanna never openly confirmed any tie between the 2009 incident and her alleged past experiences with Jay-Z, but her near silence on the topic has left fans free to speculate, and the speculation rarely paints a pretty picture. Fast forward to today, and social media is ablaze with claims that Rihanna and A$AP Rocky have filed a lawsuit against Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Conversely, sources insist that Jay and Beyoncé have slapped their own legal papers down in retaliation, fueling talk of a messy, high-stakes showdown. But what triggered this sudden escalation? According to the rumor mill, one theory is that Rihanna finally reached a breaking point. Perhaps she'd been sitting on a vault of old resentments or shady dealings. Maybe she discovered new evidence that threatened to expose aspects of her past she no longer wishes to keep quiet. Then there's the possibility that the entire story is a hoax. After all, one group of fans insists these lawsuits are merely fantasy, cooked up by bored internet trolls or unscrupulous media outlets chasing viral clicks. Still, others argue there must be a kernel of truth hidden in the madness. Why else would Roc Nation, or someone appearing to speak for them, fire off a scornful tweet reading, "Don't be dumb"? If the suits were outright phony, wouldn't their lawyers dismiss it quietly rather than stir more attention? And why is A$AP Rocky's name attached? Especially since he's facing his own controversies and legal entanglements unrelated to Jay-Z's empire. Confusion runs deep, leaving bystanders to wonder if there's a legitimate legal war brewing, or if we're watching a bizarre publicity stunt unfold. The alleged Roc Nation tweet, "Don't be dumb," cascaded across social media, igniting 1,000 theories. Did the label aim it at Rihanna, warning her not to burn bridges? Or was it meant for the public, telling everyone to ignore gossip and refrain from jumping to conclusions? In response, the internet did what it does best: dissect every fragment of the story, from the suit's rumored dollar amounts, some say an oddly small sum for such huge stars, to speculation about spelling errors in the official documents. Skeptics argue that such mistakes would never slip through legitimate legal channels. Others believe this might just be an elaborate ruse, a fake draft designed to distract from bigger controversies. And yet, there's a small but vocal crowd convinced that these rumors point to a brewing storm, with high-powered attorneys quietly preparing for battle behind closed doors. Public opinion is all over the map. Some fans stand by Rihanna, citing her history of forging her own path after stepping away from exclusive deals with Jay-Z's Roc Nation. They sense that she's trying to break free from old constraints and protect her family, particularly after A$AP Rocky's own run-ins with the law. Meanwhile, Jay-Z and Beyoncé's loyal supporters blast the entire premise as laughable, reminding everyone that the Carters are masters of controlling their narrative. If something big were truly unfolding, they'd never allow it to trickle out in such a sloppy manner. Here's where speculation turns truly wild. Some individuals claim the lawsuits are a smokescreen to divert attention from other major stories, like hush money allegations involving big names in the industry or rumored power struggles within Roc Nation. Others suspect that if these suits are authentic, it might force Rihanna to expose details about her earliest days under Jay-Z's wing, secrets so explosive the Carters would do anything to keep them buried. Then there's the question of Foxy Brown's role. If Rihanna's alleged experiences mirror Foxy's, then these legal battles could open a can of worms from years past. Fans wonder if Foxy's name might surface as a key witness. Jaguar Wright's commentary, with all its shocking revelations, hangs in the air as well. Is it possible that her repeated statements about Jay-Z's behavior were warnings of what's finally coming to light? Conspiracy theories naturally flourish in an environment with few facts and plenty of unanswered questions. Are the Carters behind a misinformation campaign, planting the rumors themselves so they can later disprove them and emerge unscathed? Is Rihanna's team leaking just enough info to keep the public guessing, building momentum for an official reveal later? Nobody outside the inner circle knows for sure, but that hasn't stopped countless discussions, videos, and social media threads from hashing out every possible angle. Ultimately, the stories swirling around Rihanna, Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and A$AP Rocky are a labyrinth of rumors, half-truths, and sensational headlines. While some fans dismiss the alleged lawsuits as pure fiction, others believe there's substance behind the smoke, perhaps an overdue reckoning for questionable actions that date back almost 2 decades. Then again, it could all collapse under scrutiny, exposed as nothing more than a viral hoax designed to feed the public's appetite for scandal. What remains certain is that this drama has reignited old questions about how the music industry treats young, vulnerable talent. Did Rihanna once find herself cornered into decisions no teenager should face? Did the very mentors who helped launch her stardom demand something in return? Or was the entire narrative sparked by opportunistic rumors spread by a desperate publicist? For now, we're left sifting through the fragments. If any real lawsuits do proceed, we might finally see some evidence and clarity. Until that day, fans will continue to debate and dissect every whisper. Whether the rumor mill eventually dies down or flares even brighter, one thing's for sure: this saga underscores the power dynamics that can lurk behind the glittering facade of fame. Were these legal documents real or a mirage designed to manipulate public opinion? Only time and perhaps a few court dates will tell. In the meantime, the buzz around Rihanna, Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and A$AP Rocky is bound to grow. Stay vigilant, keep an eye on official statements, and decide for yourself if these tales are the biggest bombshells in pop culture or just another sensational distraction. Have your own take on what's really happening? Share your thoughts below. And if you're eager for more insights into the tangled relationships and controversies that shape the music world, be sure to stick around, because if this story has taught us anything, it's that shocking twists can surface when you least expect them.